Thank you for joining me today as we take a look at some resources for organizing and assembling American Flyer cars and engines into original sets. This may be helpful for those of you that have found yourself in possession of mixed cars and engines without really knowing what goes with which. Another thing I wanted to show you is, and I've shown this in another video, where I have one of those little portable Bluetooth printers. And what I did is on the powered, the non-powered engine, as well as all the cars in this consist that came with this set or would have come with this set, I made a little label. And I put the set number on there, the year it was produced, and then the name, Sunshine Special. And these labels are actually a little bit wider. I cut them down. I figured that's enough detail for future people to figure out, oh wait, this goes with this. So anyhow, I thought that was something that you might find helpful, and I'll show you a little bit about my thinking on where I put labels here on cars next. Alright, so here is the 1956 set. It's a little bit different than the one from 55, and we'll cover that in just a bit. But first things first, I want to talk about labels next. So if you are in American Flyer collecting at all, no matter how small your start, and I can testify to this, over time you will get multiples, and sometimes many multiples of a given car. For example, this Southern car here, this 920, this Gondola, this is a very, very common car. I grew up with one of these. I don't really know how many more I've amassed through the years, but I know I have several of these. And so as I bought this set, together, I thought I'm going to go ahead and put a label on here. Now, obviously personal choice, but I decided rather than put it on the plastic, where is there a chance the glue on the back of the sticker could potentially interact with the plastic over time? There's an outside chance it may. I don't know that it's pH balanced or anything. So I decided to put it on the underside of the truck. It may fall off over time. I don't know. That's a risk I'm willing to take, because I'd rather have it fall off than somehow permanently damage the plastic on the bottom of this car. I did the same thing on several of the cars in this set. This caboose, for example, I did it here. You've got a light post in the middle, so there's not really a good spot to put it. And again, I don't want it to interfere with the chassis paint, so I decided to go ahead and put it there. And then when you get to coal cars and cement cars and tank cars, they don't really have a nice flat bottom. So again, on all of these, under the truck. So again, personal preference, and it may be, not a big deal. Now on the boxcar here, I did go ahead and put it above the insignia there. Could have put it on the truck, probably should have, just to be consistent, but that's what I did as I was kind of thinking through how to keep this all straight. All right, so another thing that I thought might be worth noting is, how do you know if you have all the cars in a set, or how do you know if a set was made multiple years, and how do you know which year you have? And there's a couple references that I find super, super helpful. I mention this book all the time, so if you are into American Flyer, this is kind of a Bible, if you will. It's not perfect. There are a few errors in it, but it is very, very helpful, extremely helpful. Doyle's catalog, or David Doyle's American Flyer Train Standard Catalog. You want to get your hands on that. It has got just tons of resources. In the back, it lists a lot of the sets. Of course, not every one, but it lists a lot of them. I oftentimes will reference a scarcity number. That comes here from Doyle. He lists, scarcity numbers, and The higher the number, the more scarce it is. The lower the number, the more common it is. And like I said, not everything's in here, but you've got sets at the back. You've got HO, you've got standard gauge, and the most of the book is S scale, S gauge, American Flyer. So it's got accessories, it's got transformers, it's just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And you've got engines all the way up here at the front, and it goes over some of the variations and how he comes up with different types. Again, a lot of this is very helpful. Only once in a while do I scratch my head about some of the things that are in here, but most of the time I think it is just about as well done as ever could be. What we're interested in this particular case is the Sunshine Special, and in this particular case he's got the 1956 version listed here, but just over here on the other page you can see we've got the 55. Now I wasn't actually sure which one I had, so I looked at the cars on this one and I looked at the cars on this one, and I was like, okay, so it is a 56 because there's a little bit of variation in the car. And I also happen to have a 55 American Flyer catalog. These, again, are a tool that I use all the time. Not only are they just wonderfully fun to look at, this is the kind of thing, had I had these as a kid, I would have literally worn the pages out, staring at them, dreaming about how cool it would be to have, whatever set. And Flyer made these pretty much every year while they were in existence. And as you get closer to 66, they get a lot less colorful, they get a lot less inclusive, but again, it's kind of the signs of the time. But boy, the 40s and 50s are some really nice ones. So here we have the 5542. So this is the 1955 set. And one thing that's different is this car here is not included in the set I have, but also neither is the cement car. So those two cars were swapped out. It kind of looks like everything else in here. I take that back. This one was not included in 56, but the Northwestern Refrigerator line car was. Yeah, diesel roar was added for 56 and was not in the 55. And then one last resource that is a little more obscure. I got this from Steve when he was kind enough to help me with some Flyer stuff. He had included a bunch of resources. Landis Valley Railroad, I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure if there's anything in here that tells who put this together. Available from the All Aboard Railroad. Okay, so I'm not sure I'm finding who did what here, but this is a good old matrix dot printer produced document, and this is much more inclusive than Doyle's list of sets, but it is not exhaustive. And I think there are some additional documents and resources out there that are much more inclusive, I should say, concise is the better word, of Flyer sets. But again, here we have the 56 Sunshine Special, new Sunshine Special, and in this, the way they did it in this one is they had the engines first, but what I really like is they had the year over here, because it's in order, numerical order, and Doyle's book jumps all over the place, so it can be kind of confusing where stuff lands. But you've got that, you've got the number of the set, description, and then the list of the cars that are in it. There are also some X's and stuff, and this has to do with, you have to go up here to the top, and it talks about kind of transformer and track and on and on and on that were included with the sets. Thanks so much for tuning in with me today. Please make sure to add any of your comments. If you have resources that you prefer to use when trying to figure out what kind of assembly of engines and cars you have, or if you've got stray engines or stray cars and try to figure out where did they come from or what set did they originally come from Flyer with, that would be super, super helpful. The goal of this channel is, again, to share the hobby, but also be a resource for people that are hopefully interested in the hobby or wanting to get started in the hobby. And I know I've received several comments over the last few years from people that are saying, hey, I was at a flea market and I picked up this Flyer set. What do I have? Or my uncle so-and-so passed away and he sent me his trains or left me his trains. What do I have? So all these kinds of questions are opportunities for us to hopefully pique people's interest in saying, hey, not only did you get something really great, but here's what year it's from, and here are some variations, which one do you have, and on and on and on it goes. With that encouragement, I will sign off today, but until next time, take care, God bless, and enjoy those American Flyer trains, and we'll see ya. Bye-bye.